I couldn't be a singer if I wanted to, 'cause I know what it takes to be a next best thing. If you think you got it going on, then tell the truth, 'cause I don't mean to brag. Come and catch me if you can.
Okay, if I die, it's you guys' fault.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
We heard it here.
Don't worry, your insurance will pay for a third of you.
You don't.
Do you want the top third, the bottom third, the middle third, the right third, or the left third?
That's
Front
more,
third or back third?
That's more than everything you said comes out more than a third.
Yeah, no, but I'm asking. You got to determine. Oh, so if you're going top down, do you want the top third, middle third, or bottom third? Or
I mean,
from right to
I
left,
think
do you want the right third, the left third, or the middle third?
So is the middle
do you want
third
the
like
front?
nipples to navel?
It's a bust.
Yeah, you need to take
about
the
a third,
center,
right?
the center third, and turn me into a donut.
All these things can happen. But what's going on, everybody? I'm the one, the only, the WOOKIE, joined here by the normal cast of Misfits. We have driving on the road right now, which is definitely not dangerous, and podcasting at the same time. You have Dr. M. Sheep.
Hands free.
Hands free, baby.
What are you doing with your hand, Sheep?
Hey, easy.
What are we gonna do tonight, Pinky?
That's
we do.
Keeping myself away.
Try to take over the world.
Is it the same thing we do every night?
Sure.
Yep, and we got the
Pinky
Ewokiest
in the
of
brain.
Ewoks, Ewok Jr.
Hello, KeyForge community. Glad to be here. Hopefully, you do know Pinky in the Brain, man. If you don't, I'm so sad for you.
Who?
When was that show on the air? Like, is this
Well,
a
hold
thing
on.
that
That's just me.
our listeners legit know, or like, are we old?
I mean, we are old.
We are.
And the Brain. All
Well,
right, let's
Pinky
see.
and the Brain wasn't an
it was
actual show.
All right, guys. So the show
Your
ran from
Animaniacs.
Yes.
1995 and ran from 4 seasons. So it was a while ago, guys.
That's 99.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
last millennia. If my kids were
back
here,
in
they'd
the
be like,
1900s.
Yeah, is that from the 1900s, Dad? I'd be like, yes.
So you guys want to hear a fun story?
Yeah.
My kid's school had 90s Day, right?
Oh,
Or not? Yeah, it was 90s Day.
What did they do for
And
this?
I forgot what was it she asked me. She's like, "Hey, Dad, how did you guys get to school in the 90s?" And I'm like, "We had cars." And she's like, "You guys had cars back then?"
What is like I kids will be like, "Oh, well, like use your phone, right?" I'm like, I didn't have a cell phone in the 90s.
Yeah, like telling
Well,
your
the
children
phone-
like the phone was attached to the wall by a very long
Yeah, there's no
cord.
smartphone.
Like smartphones didn't exist, and if you were like later on, like a few years down the line, they came out with cordless. Like that was an option,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was wild.
And you
Saved
could-
by the Bell and the big fat phone that was there. Oh.
Yeah. And you could not be on the phone at the same time as anyone else.
Yep.
And when somebody called, you did not know who it was.
Yeah,
Her mind
Kinda
was
crazy.
Her
I feel
mind
like
was
that's
blown.
true again.
yeah, a little bit. Though I definitely,
I mean, you
So,
know it if it's somebody you know, but like after that, it's just nothing useful.
Yeah, but
I do feel like
so. What happens the first? So the first time you look at so your phone rings. What happens? You look at it. As soon as you see it's not someone you know, you just hit the little button that just silences the ringer, and then you let it go to voicemail.
or hit that screen button.
Yeah, whatever.
and then
I mean,
Google
depending
screen it for me.
Android
Yeah.
or depending if you have an Android or an Apple. And then if you're my wife, you have 301 voicemails that you just never answered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I honestly want to know how long it takes to get to 301 voicemails.
A long time. Probably. Or I don't know. Maybe they're trying to reach her about her extended warranty.
Her car's extended warranty, or maybe there's a prince somewhere trying to get her unpaid millions. I don't think they reach out via phone, do they?
Sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't gotten any of those emails.
Especially if you need to relay your social security number.
Yeah.
Right? That's sensitive. So
and you should totally pay them in Amazon gift or like Apple gift cards. Or Apple gift cards. Yeah. Oh, here's another fun.
That's the best way to do it.
Here's another fun story.
But your car warranty, they can always get a hold of you.
My old man called me the other day and he goes, "Hey, somebody called me about you. Is everything okay? They were trying to get in touch with you." And I was like, "Who was it?" And he's like, "I don't know. They just said that they got my number." I was like, "Yeah, they found your number off of something from me. They're trying to scam you." I was like, "Whatever you do," I said, "please, when you get," I was like, "you're getting up there in age. Please, whatever you do, don't pay your taxes and Apple gift cards, right? If anybody asks you to run to Target to grab them a bunch of kids' gift cards, just say no, right? Like, please do that for me.
Yep.
Do that for me."
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the scams are real.
They really are.
You gotta be careful. Have you guys gotten any of the you have unpaid
do we talk about our
tolls?
Patreon now?
No. I want to talk about if anybody has any unpaid tolls. Anybody got any unpaid tolls?
Well,
that they got a text message for?
I did get this, but then it turned out it was real.
Oh shit!
They were gonna send collection because my transmitter died. So, and it was a huge pain in the ass because every state, it's like its own easy pass. So I realized, oh shit, like this actually is a problem. So then I had to where the hell was I? So then because Pennsylvania, but then it's New York is sending a collection agency after me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm trying to figure out is this real? Yeah, my parents are New York. It's probably real, right? I had to call them. Huge pain in the ass.
You have no idea now if you're trying to be scammed or not.
Right. It was very, very, very awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's get into it today. We got a few things we're going to go over. Kind of an older school Archons Corner today. We're actually going to talk some strategy here. Weird, I know, right? I feel like it's weird.
Yeah,
it almost feels dirty.
We haven't had a strategy idea in a while.
No,
not since.
I feel like this is a scam.
You feel like this is
this is the scam right here.
Yep, and this should go out next week. So April Fools.
Oh, there you go.
But it'll go out on a Tuesday, so it'll actually be March 31st.
Well, it's our advice. Beer before liquor, never sicker.
Will it actually go out?
Liquor before beer in the clear. There you go, guys.
Isn't it the other way?
You're welcome.
I never remember.
You're welcome.
I never remember.
That's definitely made up, though.
I just mix them all and I jump on a trampoline and see what happens.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just
be fine.
What you got to do. Here's
Gatorade.
the real advice. Hydrate.
Yeah, drink Gatorade.
Hydrate.
With Dubby? Dubby Energy?
No, with Dubby. Do we
you can do Dubby. Yep, you can do Dubby.
Are we promoting Dubby still?
Yeah, we're technically still. In fact, I gotta talk to that guy because he's like,
let me get my.
What was funny is we're not on any sort of crazy anything with Dubby, right? We're literally we're on one of those deals where if you guys buy stuff, we get money from Dubby, right? We get every time you use our code, we get a kickback. And one of the guys reached out to me from Dubby, and he's like, "Hey, you guys haven't promoted us in a while." And I was like, "Oh shit, I totally forgot about you." Oops.
I gotta crack into my case of Dubby I got back here.
Your case of Dubby, yeah. Yeah, you can hydrate with Dubby. Absolutely. Use code DrawedBetter to get 10% off. And you too can hydrate. I like to add Malort to my Dubby.
Which is also another sponsor. Man, you are just hitting them all today.
I know. Did you? The other thing I've seen on the internet lately, I don't know if it's a scam or not, but now I want to try. Somebody tried. You know the old saying that if you take a Brita and you put liquor in a Brita, it'll make it taste better?
I've heard this. I don't. I mean, it's got to be
try
shitty
it.
vodka for that to work.
Yeah, but supposedly it works with Malort too.
Thank you for donation.
I don't believe that.
Why would you want to try to make Malort taste better?
Yeah, the point is it
that-
doesn't, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point.
I mean, you could just buy a bottle of scotch and be happier.
That's right.
This is true. This is true.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure that is why all of our KeyForge friends have made it to this cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Malort, Dubby.
But one day, me and Drazcor are going to get together and figure out the appropriate appropriation of how to do things on the Patreon. But until then, Drazcor, you've made some updates to Drazcor.com.
That's right.
What'd you do?
So, so Drazcore.com. So, DRAZ, Draz, that's me. Score, SCORE.com. So, I have created a, I was joking that it was going to be called the complain feature, which it kind of is, but I named it a little nicer. The complain feature is basically when you think that we are bad at rating cards, and you're like, I substitute your rating with my own. So basically, now there's a way to generate a my score, which is you go to the cards page, or you can actually do it straight from when you load a deck. You can just go, and as long as you're a logged in user, you can go and update the card scores. So if you go to the view all cards page, you can go to just rate the cards whatever you think they should be rated, right? If we rated something, a 4, and you're like, we're idiots, and this card's only a 2 or a 1, you can go do that. Or if you think it's a 6 and we're dummies for not knowing that, you can go and change the rating. This will do a few things. So you'll be able to see that score like on the deck information page, and it will go into a community score. So each card now is a community score, which is just the average of all of each user who has rated cards. And it'll just tell you, like right now, let me just see here. So right now, Bubbles is a 4.7. We rated it as a 5, but a few users think that it's a 4, I would guess. I don't actually see the individual scores, but right now, the community score for Bubbles is 4.7. Let's see. Redacted, the Draz score is a 2, but the community score is a 3.5. So people seem to like Redacted more.
Get out of here, Mammon.
That may or may not be Team Redacted.
That's one dude trying to just rock the
jack
bus.
it up. Yeah, jack the price. Yeah. So, but I think it'd be really cool if more people came in, rated the cards, whatever you think they should be rated, and then we will use that in a future episode to look for the ones that are quite different from what we rated them, and look to see if we should change our scores or if we should give you a really hard time for your bad ratings instead of our bad ratings. So both are possible.
Can we have a weekly shaming session?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, see, I don't. I guess I could write code that would figure out who specifically rated the scores all wackadoo. I guess I could write that code.
We can just simply shame. We can shame how the card of the week.
Anonymously shaming is never fun. You gotta shame publicly.
Yeah.
Public shame. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely. Yeah.
Shame.
We can just assume it's always Mr. Perfect.
That's true. That's usually is.
Yeah, we could just do that.
Still
that
is the argument for Tudor Ben Rilo being an okay card.
Now, so you go in, you score all the cards and whatnot. By the way, you don't have to score all the cards. You can just score the cards that you disagree with our score. Or if you agree, if you want to, you can score it the same as our score, and then if we change our score, yours won't change. So, Both are reasonable, viable.
Should we
Now,
have
the one
should we
thing-
have a segment every week where we take like, I don't know, 5 cards and bust them
Dude,
down?
are we going to 3 hours now?
No.
Okay.
5 cards is too many?
Well, if Ewok has to read them,
Again,
Walkbot,
is this gift too old for you? Because is Monty Python also too old for you all?
Monty
No.
Python is the best, and I
Okay.
totally showed my kids Monty Python.
Shame.
Yep. The so all right, so you score these cards, you can see what the community scored them, you can use this to think about the strength of these cards. Now, if you are a Patreon, so this is the only thing that is a Patreon feature, when you bring up a deck, it will actually give you a my score value. So and you can see that other value on the deck. So you could basically build, as long as you're okay with kind of our rules, you can basically build your own scoring system, and you can rate decks, and you can see based on your beliefs what decks you think are particularly strong or weak.
I'm can't wait to see Mr. Perfect. Can we publicly show Mr. Perfect scores?
To show his, I would have to. I mean,
his
I
will
can
be
write any
5s.
sort of code, and by me writing any sort of code, I mean I can ask Claude to write any sort of code. Right now, I don't have a way to see what other people scored stuff, but it's technically possible. I'm sure. So, but
bad take of the week.
yeah. So go and rate some cards, and then see where you can find decks that you think are underrated and should actually be rated more highly. Maybe this will be a cool tool for you to help yourself figure out how to what to get, what to buy, and what to purchase for a vault or something. So,
How do you feel knowing that
figure it
we're
out.
instantly going to be trolled?
Oh, I'm excited.
Like Dive
Right.
Pod's going to be a 6.
Yeah. Well, I did think about
has the back
if it
door
gets
of just being like turning that off.
Yeah, if it gets real wackadoo, I could force the community score to only be for Patreons, but I don't know. I'm not there just yet. Let's see how this goes. Plus, if you get enough people rating normally, then it'll be fine. In theory, I could also do like the Board Game Geek thing where they generate, a whole bunch of, average scores or something. And then so that, one person can't go and totally, make Uno like the number 1 rated game on Board Game Geek or something, right? But I mean, we have, how many users do we have? It's not actually count. I have to scroll a bit. I don't know, 30, 40 users on the site now. Many of them have only logged in once. They checked it out. They're like, but now there's new features, so you should come back. So, but I can see it looks like Dedzig just logged in, so he's checking it out right now. Looks like. I see we got Days Fault on here, Eric Waters, Marty. You guys go check it out. And tell me what you think. So you may or may not have accounts already. I don't know.
Yeah. So. All righty. Oh, you know what?
So pretty excited about this.
That's a bummer. I just realized that I closed out my show organization notes to open the Hellbreak TCG.
Oh gosh.
So go check out Draz's score. Eventually, me and Draz will do something for patrons. We've never talked about it, so one day we'll figure something out. But today,
there's definitely stuff I'm doing for patrons. I just don't like. There's definitely a few things, but we don't have like the tiers. Doesn't really.
Our tiers still don't match. Stuff and things. One day, we'll figure something out. Won't be today.
Yep.
Probably won't be tomorrow. We'll get around to it. Checks in the mail. So, moving forward, I wanted to talk a little bit about this, and this is due to kind of Pete's Piles. For those of you who aren't aware or participating, Pete has started the SAS Champions. So that is down in our Discord, where basically every SAS number has the ability, I forget what it goes down to, 39? Is that right? Does that sound right? 31.
Sounds right. It's whatever the lowest SAS deck in DOK is.
So 31 is the lowest SAS deck. And then he goes all the way up to 134. Each one of those has a champion as to who is the one who owns the championship for that SAS score. Bunch of them are on here. Are these? I don't know if these are going into. Oh no, they are. Once you play a certain amount of games, like you get these do give you fake internet points over on keychains. So
Yeah, it says current keychain results look like this. Dexter taking home first. Wookie in last at
I only
0-2.
played 2 games.
Ooh. Perfect's beating you at 2-0, man.
Oh,
I mean,
Sheep
so
8-2.
brutal.
He's taking the 3rd spot. Dexter really 24 and 15.
I mean, I did take
Who's second?
what did I take? I don't even remember, the 48 slot.
You took the deuce.
Yeah,
That's what you took,
which I
Deuce.
just
You deuced
figured
it.
nobody else had, a 48 deck, and I was wrong. It happens.
Yeah, you're crazy. So the way this works is you join the Discord, and then at any point that you don't have 3 decks on the spreadsheet championing a SAS, you can claim another blank SAS spot. So like there's a slot in the spreadsheet for each SAS. So I came in when I joined, I took 94 with fraud. You have to list the deck you're playing. I took 77 with Master Ace Big Fire, and I don't remember. I took a 3rd slot with something. And then, so you can only claim 3 slots. You can only claim empty slots if you have less than 3 decks on there. And then,
You took JML and TL. Sucks.
that's because I got knocked out of one of my slots.
There you go.
So then I added JML, MTL sucks afterwards in honor of JML. Yeah, got to get his name out there.
Who sucks?
But you at any point can challenge anybody for their SAS rating. So, like, I challenged Pete for 65 or 56, 58, whatever it was.
59 was you are in with Martine, the stone-faced. I'm looking at this.
Yeah, okay, so it was 59, which that was Pete's very favorite WoW deck that is multiple legionary trainers and a senator token. So it's pretty good. But the thing is with the way this works is, like, you know what their deck is. So, like, as it happened to be, I actually had 359 to pick from that I could play them with. So I picked one that had the most board clears for little creatures, and then went there and, beat them up and took a spot. They are best of 3 matches, though, so you do got to plan to have a little time. And then, so you earn points for winning, you earn quarter points for losing, and then at the end of the month, you'll earn points for being the champion of different SAS ratings. If a deck loses, it is knocked out of it's out of competition for a time period. So once a deck and a SAS member loses, you can't like go back and re-challenge for that one with the same deck. It's out once it loses. So it's a reason to play a lot of miscellaneous decks. It's been fun.
Yeah. And this got me thinking. Number one, it got me thinking about how little I know about some of the cards from previous sets. Hey guys, question for you. Without looking, nobody look. I know Sheep won't look because he's driving, I think. What's the text box on Little Nif?
It's like Omega, elusive, its neighbors, gain, fight, steal one.
Well, you're better than I am.
Sounds right.
Because
No, I said that with confidence. And it's a funny story. So we were at the store tonight, and Mammon had a Vietnamese GR deck for whatever reason sealed. I was like, okay. So he opens it, and I open a GR, and like we're playing, and like every other card, we're like, wait a second.
So the problem is you start to question it. When I was playing the side deck, you know the cards, but you start to question it.
Right.
Like,
and with GR, it's just been long enough. Like, what's that tendril card where it's like bounce a creature and its neighbors if you're haunted? We were like, wait, does it say friendly or is it like any creature? Like, so we had to like go look it up. There was like a whole bunch that we had to look up. So we did not remember as well as we had thought.
so I totally missed Omega on Little Nif because
I
was also doing
because
house
you
things.
don't read cards.
I was also doing house things. Yeah, I didn't really look at it, and I was like, oh, oops, that's Little Nif.
So earlier you're saying Tendrils from Beyond, the Unfathomable.
Yep.
Action with an Amber Pit. Play. Choose a creature. If that creature's controller is haunted, return that creature and each of its neighbors to their owner's hand. Otherwise, return that creature to its owner's hand.
Sounds right.
Hope so. Walkbot read it.
I'm reading it, so this one is correct. I'm not cheating you. I'm looking at it.
I do have a Niffle Queen deck at 57 I could take over. But I'm just like, I haven't seen some of these cards in so long because, nobody cares. They're not played.
I mean, it is definitely the SAS Champion thing is a fun way when you have those decks with names or with, something you like in it that's of a undesirable SAS range. There's a reason to slap it out there and make people play with it.
Yeah.
And against you. So it's been fun for that.
It has been fun for that. But it got me thinking over my couple games with, I believe it was Cats and Dogs, that I mulligan completely differently. And going first and second with a lot of the older GG sets feels significantly different from going second in a lot of the Ghost Galaxy era. Anybody else seen? Like, am I crazy on this? I could be stupid.
Going first.
I know.
Let's just
this is on just taking a mulligan.
Let's just go straight on mulligans, right? Because you used to open your hand, right? You see that 2/2/2 in a FFG set, and it was almost like, ugh, this is the kiss of death, right? Sure. I gotta toss it back. I got some of my late game cards in here. I gotta toss it back where I don't have that same feeling in the GG era. Right, I'm definitely able to, at least I feel, with some of the abilities to, depending on whether it is make token creatures, archive cards, or use my graveyard to my advantage in Grim Reminders. Ember Skies, I don't even know what that set is, or even just
it's house enhanced.
High value use creatures.
Yeah, right. And what you're really looking at is efficiency in all of those aspects.
And that's
efficiency
what I was saying.
Through house cheating, house prophesying a card. This is all efficiency. GR being able to get haunted immediately, efficiency, recursion that's there, but you have a major shift in efficiency with GG.
And I just feel like that's really swayed my mulliganing. I feel like I mulligan a lot more in a GG, or I'm sorry, in a FFG set than flip that. I mulligan a lot more in a FFG set than I do in a GG set, especially going second. I feel like I can play my way out of a subpar hand in a GG set than I going second than I can in a FFG set.
I wonder if this is one of those things where, because GG is printing cards that are really stronger than a 6, that you could be like, well, I got this card. Like, why wouldn't I play it? Right? Like nothing in your deck is going to be better than having that card. So,
well, but I think it comes down to timing. To be honest, we went ahead at our locals on Tuesday. We played Archon again because our store championship is basically every other week. So a couple people had some things that just didn't allow them to come out last week, which was sad, but they wanted to play Archon. We ended up playing Sealed. A couple people had brought in Archon just to be able to try it out. And in that manner, I will tell you that on one of my games, just playing against a very old school Coda Rush, I had a choice with my PV, and I drew into essentially 2 of my 3 large scaling Amber Control. Now, this deck that I was facing, again, you have to look at what's the situation. What are you playing? This deck has a chance to literally OTK. It can go ahead and really burst with Untamed. So having 2 of those cards right away is kind of really good. You wouldn't necessarily you got to actually question that. But I still think that the efficiency that PV provided, I tossed that back. Those are 2 cards that I do not want to see, and they actually have more value. So one was Carver Fire, one was Hoodwink. They have a lot more value later on, especially considering Hoodwink here. If you're going to burst, I'm going to bust it right away, but it's not going to be a full 5 that I'm taking. It's going to be here 3. Now you're playing a game of chance that, yes, Coda or certain other sets can rush very quickly. But I think that the efficiency that GG offers allows you to be able to get back to those key cards quicker, in my opinion. And so I had no problem really discarding it. And it had a half-second thought on it, but it is still, I think it's a better long-term move to discard and play for the overall game.
Because the fear of a discard in a GG set, I don't feel like there is a fear. I feel like there's enough efficiency there where I feel like I can either swing back around to it, or I'm going to have things that are going to allow me to go grab it when I need it, or be able to find it when I need it, as opposed to, well, let's
Are you talking,
for lack of a better term, pull out and pray?
Sealed. Yeah, I mean, Wookie, are you talking Archon or are you talking Sealed?
I mean, I guess it's really either way, right? Because this is just playing Pete's piles. We were literally going to AOA. It was an AOA slap fest, right? Literally, one game was I screwed up on a little Nif, and that's my fault because I did not read Omega on Little Nif, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's Omega.
Wah wah.
You know that KeyForge All-Star Little Nif, right? You see him in every deck. I should have known better. But just it was one of those things where I was just like, oh, and I don't think I had what it took to do it anyways. I was probably more or less delaying the inevitable, which I feel like there's not as much swinginess in FFG sets as there is in GG sets. I feel like once you're pretty far behind and you have you're not, the comeback is possible, but less probable.
So
or it's based totally on randomness, right? Because
and that's the FFG thing. It's total. Well, no, I'm saying even FFG is totally on randomness. No, FFG, because okay, so my Ember Control is now back in my deck. Am I going to get it in time? Right? I can push cards, but it could be back on the bottom, so it's a lot of randomness in there, which we all know.
I mean, that's every card game, right? But the GG,
but the GG era has allowed me to. All right, I need this card. I'm just gonna stash it over here for later. You know, there's a lot more archiving, I feel like, in GG sets. There's a lot more ways to do things. I mean, even with tokens and then being able to get tokens back into hand. GR did a lot with archiving. Tokens was obviously, the token sets. AOA just allows me to do weird things with strange stuffs on the board. And then ass. And prophecies allow me to, kind of. I can plan it, whether it pops or not. I guess is random. You're still considering that random. That's fine.
So I think what you got there is on what you guys are saying. GG sets, they have a lot more higher value cards, which I think actually means you do mulligan a little less because you don't need the FFG 4 mediocre creatures equals 1 good Ghost Galaxies creature.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Especially in the current meta, right? The way we play these days. The typical FFG creature does not equal a typical Ghost Galaxy creature. So you can start often with a little bit shorter hand in Ghost Galaxy, even when playing other Ghost Galaxy sets, just because if they don't answer the creature and you get that one reap or that one fight with it, it does often provide enough interesting value to keep you in the game even without having a 4-2 hand or whatever. So that's going on with GG. As you guys said, there's more efficiency in every set through whatever its new mechanic is. House pip, so you're playing more cards no matter what house you call, or PV efficiency or token efficiency. They all have some sort of new efficiency that's a little different, but does move a lot more cards than traditional FFG decks did. And now you do have to probably mulligan more aggressively if you're trying to play just in general FFG decks, because you're used to a higher tempo of play. So a 2-2 hand is real slow, especially if you're playing against a Ghost Galaxy deck. It's too slow. You have to mulligan for more value because you just start that far behind.
It's already.
But your whole play speed mentality, if you play a lot of GG stuff, is different. That when you go back and play crummy FFG on crummy FFG, you almost got to recalibrate your brain on what you need to do a little bit, because there is not as high value of play on anything, right? So it's a much more even-tempered play field. So, how you mulligan has probably changed since then. Going first and going second, it's been a long time now, since before Ghost Galaxy, that I am firmly a go first player.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I agree.
I do not like going second.
So, I mean, this is a whole nother topic, and I want to get into it. I guess for me, the mulligan, it's been interesting. So I did join ABR's half league, and we started this week with Coda. So when you were talking about Pete's piles with kind of, we'll call them Pooey decks on Pooey decks, and it does actually range from really bad SAS to really, really good SAS. The whole range is there, but I think you're hitting different ranges. For ABR, the half league, we're trying out some new software. We're trying out some really cool items. So shout out to Aviator with all the work that's being done in the background there that other people will see in the future. But having played just good Coda on good Coda, I think that our perspective from PV and GR and WoW has actually changed how I view some of the old Coda decks that I play. So when we went back, it's interesting to have that feel even good on good Coda or old FFG on old FFG. You are looking for some more efficiency, but you're also looking at, okay, what are some of the different lines that you want to take that, I don't know, it's a different feel for sure of what I was looking at. I ended up playing a triple Doorstep to Heaven deck, and even trying to think, what is the matchup going to be? What would I expect to see? Either control or high Amber generation, but also the key cheats are very, very prevalent for Coda with that Untamed. So it was there on should you mulligan or should you not? It's a hesitation, being able to see if someone's going first and if they mulligan, even waiting. I know I'm really neglectful of this and often say, well, I'm just like, I'm going second, I'm mulligan. Well, I should really wait until my opponent decides if they're going first or not. And that should have an impact. If it's a bad hand, you're still going to mulligan it. But there's some kind of wishy-washy in the middle sections where you might not want to actually mulligan if they're also mulliganing. So some things to think about for sure.
I've just found it strange. And yeah, I have found going first for me is also where I like to be. I don't like going second anymore.
So why is that, boys? Why do you like to go first?
I think we actually touched on it. I think it's the efficiency.
But you're playing the one card, and because you can drop the prophecy. Are we talking just strictly PV? Or are you talking?
I feel like it's all around.
I've been go first since probably Worlds Collide.
And why is that?
So, and even in the Worlds Collide era, but the threat of putting down a truly strong Reap creature and forcing them into a less desirable house call to deal with your creature potentially is great. But really what it is, the reason I prefer to go first is so much of what is in KeyForge is response to your opponent, right? Creature control cards are only good if they have creatures. Amber control cards are only good if they have Amber. And by making them play the bigger hand first, there's more stuff for you to take from them, is functionally how it works. So you end up getting more value from all of your cards, more likely, because they played something for you to interact with, right? When you're playing against an empty board, you're just playing blank pips, which is not as good.
That I do agree with. Okay.
And when you're at Archon level games, like playing lots of cards and not getting any value of them outside of their pip is not a recipe for success usually.
Yeah, you're not maximizing what the cards are doing, and as a result, you lose their potential power. They're minimized.
Right. So that is absolutely why I prefer playing first. Like, you can look at their deck and know if you want to make an Amber or not. Right. If they got a lot of steel, you just don't make an Amber on turn one. You play a creature. And if they got a ton of creature control, then you play an action, right? And you can kind of play into them. But when, in theory, they mulligan or whatever, and they're going to have 3 or 4 cards they're going to play, and then you get to come back and respond. It obviously doesn't always work, because sometimes they play 5 good creatures and you have no removal or 1 removal card and you're behind the ball. That happens for sure. But on average, I've just found that going first and responding to their first big play turn has been stronger.
I do think it's deck dependent. So I think on average, I agree with you. I think there are some decks that want to be the one pushing the board state, want to be the one that is forcing an opponent to spend those control cards early. And decks that can just get to check on that first turn with a burst, right, and really put pressure. So now, yes, you're right that, okay, well, if you're playing against a big steel deck, like they also want you to do that. So it is, it definitely is a matchup game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I I've no doubt, even in situations, I will sit down and there will be some game where I'm like, oh no, going second is my better choice. Right? Because because they're such a board-centric deck, I really need that opportunity to play creatures and be able to fight back into their tokens, because I know they're going to make a bunch of them, because that's what their deck does. But they're, like into a tokens deck where they often don't get value out of the tokens on the turn they play them, means you being creatures ahead is good. But into most other sets outside of tokens and in the Ghost Galaxy area, good decks are getting value out of their creatures on play, so you're not responding to them to stop them. You're responding to stop them from repeating, because they've already got that first round of value. That's just how good Ghost Galaxy decks play. They get so much value on play right now that, you're responding by killing them or, whatever, but your response isn't, you're responding after they already got the value. So having the creatures on board to fight them first is often not as critical, because you're also playing a deck that is getting value on play. So they play their creatures and get value, and then you play your creatures and get value, killing what you have to, and it goes back and forth that way these days.
Right.
It's not like in Coda era, the first person to go wide in a low board clear deck made a big difference, because you could control the important creatures away from the game, leave them with their generic Reapers that don't do anything, and win the game that way, right? That's less of a thing in Ghost Galaxy, because, like I said, the decks that see a lot of play all have a lot of from-hand value.
For you guys, does the idea of here's your first punch and here's your second punch play into your mulligan strategy when playing in an Archon game?
What do you mean first punch, second punch?
So, part of my mulligan strategy is based on the deck that I can look at the Archon card, I can tell what the overall strategy, for the most part, the deck's going to try and do. And so with that, if I'm going ahead and deciding if I need to mulligan, I need to know what is essentially my first round of play and what is going to be my second round of play. And there's some times where I get a great first play, but I have nothing to follow it up on the second time. And essentially, I'm going to lose massive tempo, and that's going to be extremely problematic for me. And vice versa, I've had where, hey, I don't have a great first turn play, but going seconds, I'm basically set up to be able to respond or to be able to deal with whatever threat is there. And so part of that decision making comes into, should I mulligan or should I not? So I know it's kind of going back, but that helps me to be able to see, does this deck, and yes, it is deck dependent, does this deck want to go first or second? Does this deck want to be able to have key cards? So should I be mulliganing for that? Or am I really looking at, here's my first round of play and here's my second round of play? All of those things are taken in consideration for me.
I guess I still don't understand the second round, because I expect to be playing half my hand and then you draw whatever you draw. You don't.
Well, I guess you're saying if
you're going first, especially, you're playing one card, maybe two with being able to tuck something.
Oh, sure.
So in that manner, it really matters there. Yes, if you're
that's
going
always the first play efficiency question is, do I play the creature of the house I have 3 more cards of, hoping to get the reap fight on my second turn, or do I play the off house to just get more play efficiency over my first major draw? That's always a hard decision to make. And then you make your guess based off of if you think you're actually going to get to use that creature, and still half the time you don't. But
right. And in Archon, you can do a little better job guessing here. In Sealed, it's real hard, right? You have no idea what kind of control they have. No idea.
In Sealed, I feel like it's way more often that I will play a moderately high value creature as my first card, because I'm suspecting they don't have answers in every house and plentiful and whatever. So they either have to make a bad house call to deal with it. Like, you drop a Marcella and they're like, okay, well, I got to go over to this bad house just to kill the Marcella and play one card, because the chance of how fast you ramp out from one Marcella or half the Logos cards that exist in PV. Like they have to be answered. They're all witch level threats in sealed. So they're very strong first turn plays in sealed. I don't know if I feel it's as good in Archon, but sometimes, you still look at their deck and they're not a high C deck and you go, okay, I'm going to play this, high value reap creature and either you deal with it or don't. I'm going to get a ton of value. But if they have a ton of C, you don't play into it generally.
What's interesting in your statement, though, is that you're actually taking into consideration what you're expecting from each of the houses in the set. And we come with a lot of background knowledge when we're playing this game, which is definitely how I see sealed too. But if I'm going against the Logos deck, yes, I am looking for those board creatures that are going to go ahead. And if there's a number of them, they stack up quickly and they have quite a bit of play effects that will go ahead and really make it very uncomfortable in PV right now. But I think you can see, okay, what am I expecting for Amber Skies with Mars? And I can do that with the last couple of GG sets where you're looking at some of these different houses and that has an impact for what cards am I looking for. Even in sealed, I don't know if they have said card, but if they're playing a house in a specific set, there's a higher chance, especially at the common rate, that I'm going to see certain things. And I do take that into consideration when I'm playing. Okay, you're playing Skyborn, it's sealed, and I'm probably going to see Redline here.
How many red lines and against all flags am I getting hit with this game?
Correct. And so, but that has an impact. Okay, do I go to 7? Well, I still do at times, but if you're being really smart, you probably want to temper yourself and go, is this Amber needed? The same thing was happening against you, Sheep, when I was playing. Do I really need this generic creature that's going to set me one more over you for your little dragon deck? No. Okay, well, don't go ahead and play it then. Don't do that because it's really going to bite you in the butt.
I do have a hope that Donkey Measures will actually, when you're playing against another DM deck, you will actually have to sit there and make decisions that wouldn't typically be made based off of, creature count and, again, the amount of give and take of creatures and Amber in that set where, you gotta, it's been a little harder to set up and guarantee effects, I think, in that set because there are so many weird swing cards that trade control of stuff. So that's it. Should be fun to play. Still not convinced it's going to be competitive against a PV style deck, but we're still talking about mulligans and going first. So,
Wookie, what are you thinking about?
Is there anything else to mention?
Yeah. Wookie, I'm kind of curious. Which do you think is better for going first or second?
I am... So, back in the FFG days, I feel like the strategy of being able to be somewhat reactionary more times than not was the most beneficial play. And I know at one time there was an actual consensus over yes, going first is better, going second's better. I can't remember what it was, but there was a consensus.
I thought early on going second was
usually better.
Early Coda days going second, but that's because the creature control and the on-play effects was so much lower, you had to have the stuff in play first. And it made a big difference.
That's where the efficiency was too, right? Your ability to kill things and take control was better, I believe, going second than it was going first. Now with some of the card powers, it's I just again, I played Aria 2 weeks ago at the store championships, and it's just it's one of those things where okay, I'm playing Aria, and they know what I'm trying to do, right? It's not a secret at this point in time. And it's kind of okay, going first allows me to, be all right, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. you need to react. So instead of being cautionary and being able to react in a meaningful way, now it's, well, you have to react to me in a meaningful way, and if you cannot, I might run away with this.
Even when you're playing against Arya, you do everything. You keep their board clear, and it doesn't matter because 2 out of the 3 houses like land their creatures and get a ton of value out of them on the turn they're landing them,
and then get rid of them.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just, it's one of those things where I feel like that's being the aggressor now in GG days is definitely more beneficial than being a little bit passive.
Are you the aggressor in that second position or going first?
I feel like in GG days you have the ability, and again, deck dependent, but you have the ability to be the aggressor much more efficiently going first than second. Because now with a lot of these decks, it's you have to react to me, or like she said with like Marcella, you have to react to me, or I'm going to run away with it because of this creature, this condition I have now set for you of how I want to push the game. I believe going first lets me set the tempo, as opposed to like letting my opponent set the tempo and then being able to react to it. Like reacting to it in FFG days was easier, and you kind of just wanted them to, I guess, have it or, not have it. And more times than not, they didn't. Just, I feel like being the aggressor now is definitely more efficient than vice versa.
I think also but it's also based on set, right? So I actually think in GR it was actually more, well, I think the balance has shifted a little bit. In GR, I was happier to go second than I am in PV. Because in GR, a lot of the good decks, you wanted to be haunted first, / have the bigger discard pile. And if you went second, you had the advantage there. And so you could protect against their Winds of Death and leverage your Winds of Death. So but now that you're not really playing into GR as much, there's not as much need to race them for that condition. And PV with the extra efficiency, I feel like wants to go first. So I feel like that goes second in GR is less enticing than it used to be.
This sounds like a guy who played way too much Arya.
Yes.
I mean,
there are definitely matchups where I was like, I have to be more haunted than them.
Yeah, the GR stuff I was playing, I definitely used Winds of Death decks, but I definitely didn't count. I didn't use it in the same way that Arya wants to use it. So, and I mean, a lot of decks could get haunted quick, but I mean, Arya really effectively does it. But just the way one boo works and changes all that, I never worried about going second, or I didn't want to go second in that because I felt like I was always able to generally stay haunted in a thing with the kind of decks I was choosing to play. But
yeah, it wasn't so much necessarily stay haunted per se as much as it was be ahead, have the advantageous discard pile position. But yes, that is something I learned from playing Arya a lot. And I have a Vodka deck as well that wants to do that. I don't play it nearly as much because it is too much. Watch me play. Arya's already a little borderline there sometimes with my Vodka deck is definitely just watch me do stuff, which is not as fun a play style in my opinion. So.
All right, guys. Well, I got back to my hotel, so I got to go be an old man.
He's going to be an old man, going to bed.
I am on I am on Eastern time right now.
Oh,
with
so
draft.
it's like 11 o'clock
Yep.
with you. Yep.
Yep.
So,
Yep, that's right.
I mean, we hit our obligatory hour.
Well, we are kind of derogatory.
We are a little derogatory.
I think derogatory hour is probably accurate too.
Meow. I don't know. This just, again, going back to older sets with Pete's things, just like it got me thinking, like, you know, this whole going first shit sucks. I don't know,
Yeah.
you know, like where it was like, wait a minute, you know, and then I'm playing Arya, and then I'm like, why is this goal going first thing not so great? And it's a weird. It's just weird because like even now I'm looking at some of my decks and I'm like, oh, look at this whatever SAS deck, right? And it's like, it's got three of this card. What was it? I'm gonna scroll back here real quick. It was a 57 SAS deck because I'm gonna take over that spot, or I already did, as you guys were talking. With my double horseman deck that's somewhere. Because that's a thing that exists. But it was a 57 deck, and it has, it's got 1, 2. Is it got quad? No, it's got 3 terms of readiness.
Terms of redress?
I'm sorry, terms of redress.
That sounds right.
Yeah, but only 3 sanctum creatures.
Didn't you just say it was double horseman?
Not that one. That's a 58.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a 57. So like if you and there were often times where you didn't have like, and that was the thing. Like it was like this whole thing of like not having creatures on the board in low SAS old sets. Like it was a nightmare to dig out of. It was and having like little C being in these lower SAS numbers is just like it's a nightmare, and it's you were losing. I still just can't believe somebody else had a 48 SAS deck. Shocked. Like I'm like, oh, these are more common than I thought. But
Oh yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah.
You all have a good night.
all right,
See you,
Doc
sheep.
Doc Sheep.
I did as we're wrapping here, I did just look up Marcella the Younger since it was referenced a few times. So we gave Marcella the Younger a 3. The community score is up to a 3.5. So we'll see where that goes.
I think we were on
That's
the fence
Archon.
on her as well.
Yeah, the problem is again Archon versus going ahead and being sealed. Sealed
Sure.
plays out very, very well, but you just don't see Dinos going ahead and being played in PV.
Yeah,
You don't
we did.
see it in an Archon standpoint, and that causes issues.
Yeah, we did.
Wow,
we
this-
actually rated the dinos kind of high, and then we actually dropped a whole bunch of them
we had to
by
drop
a whole
them.
point.
Yep.
So yeah.
I'm looking at this this double horseman deck. The entire Sanctum house is the double horseman. So 9 creatures with a staunch knight, and then it has the harder they
staunch
come
knight.
and two, I'm sorry, it has 2 staunch knights. So 10 out of the 12 cards are creatures. It has a shoulder armor and a harder they come. That's it.
Well, the horsemen are all 2s, so
Yeah, the horsemen were pretty
you're
bad.
not going to be scoring that so high.
This is a 57.
I mean, you could go adjust the score if you like the horsemen.
This
don't
deck,
like
I
that.
feel I have to challenge you. This deck is horrendous, man.
I put it in there because I was like, double horseman, someone will get a kick out of this. This deck's not great. It has 1 Ember
No.
control.
What is this?
Yeah.
With 57? Is that the one?
Expected Amber is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Roxy. But these-
I put it
I'm
in
gonna
there.
Draz score Roxy.
I put it in there because
Yeah.
I was like, double horseman, somebody will find this funny. Because do you remember, like, does anybody remember double horseman decks selling for
Oh yeah,
just dumb
the very
money?
first deck I ever opened was a horseman deck.
Yeah. I sold a horseman deck for like $400.
Wow.
And it was like, it had no business selling. I know it
That was
had no
double,
business.
right?
No, it was a single horseman deck. It was
A single
It was
one for
right-
400. Holy crap!
It was right as KeyForge like came out, and one of my first boxes I bought had a horseman deck, and I put it up. I think it was one of the KeyForge auctions in Facebook because those were a thing, And like, yeah, it went all the way up to like $400. I really should be doing this one.
Yeah, this deck is at 82 in the draft score, which is real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad on that scale.
I mean, I measure in centimeters because it's bigger, so you know.
Sure. Yeah, I should go in. I should find. Oh man, what is my X-Ray Sucks deck? Let me see. Hold on. X-Ray.
Yeah, this is early Horseman's going for like 7 to 1,000. I remember that on eBay. It was bananas.
Master
So
X-Ray Sucks. It's a 74 SAS. Fish deck. So we got that one.
74 currently.
The problem is with Slow Walk is it's actually a really high SAS. Slow Walk Slow is a 91 SAS.
Well, with Master X-Ray Sucks, you could challenge Dexter for the. What did you say it was 73 or 74?
74.
Oh yeah, you could challenge Dexter.
Yeah, what do we got here?
And then what was the other one? 93.
A 91.
91.
That's unlikely.
91's open. You could just.
I could just throw Slow Walk Slow in there.
You could just slide it into the 91's DMs.
Nice.
And it's weird.
This deck is almost good. It's like not
is this sheep here? Because of course it is sheep. Sheep's got the 78 SAS. 78 SAS held down with Jam Sucks of the Barracks.
What is Slow Walk Slow in the Draz score? Let's say
120.
It's a 136. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good.
That's pretty good in Draz. What, anything 130 and up's pretty good in Draz score, right?
Yeah, anything 130 above is worth looking at. I mean, it's double boo, double junk with wins. Double Mars first, Doctor, double target, double implanter. It's got double Rot Feast with a spooky charge. It's got invigorating shower, haunting witch, Fangtooth Cavern, Nepenthe Seed. I mean, this is not bad. This is not bad.
You could slide right in. Nobody's got that spot taken.
Yeah,
it's all yours.
Yeah, I could.
But let us know what you guys think down below. Do you like going first? Do you like going second? And are you mulliganing more or less in the GG era? It's very, very interesting to find out. But boys, I think with that being said, we're all going to old man it, and we will see you all next week.
Yeah, go score your cards on Draz Score.
Or
and
don't, either one.
Get that community score in the direction you want, and then just happy fortune, everyone.